Hey, this is Wolf here from Armoury-Terrain, and today I'm going to show you how to make a seal for an envelope or to mark an important document, and then I'm going to show you how to make a purity seal for a 40k costume. To make the seal, you're going to need a heat source. I'm using a table candle like this. You're also going to need a metal spoon, preferably one that you don't care about, because you're going to fill it with wax and scorch the bottom of it. You're also going to need some crowns. I'm using Crayola ones that I bought from Coles here in Australia for about $3. And then you're going to need something to put the design on your seal. I am a leather worker, so I have a whole bunch of steel stamping tools, but you can use pretty much anything with a design. You can use a fancy handle of a fork or a knife or a ring or pretty much anything. Now, I said purity seals. They're slightly more complicated. For a purity seal, you're going to need a little tile or a piece of glass or a mirror, just something that the wax will not stick to. You're then going to need some blue tack or Play-Doh or anything else to make a wall. All we're doing is, the purity seals need to be a lot thicker than a normal wax seal, just so they survive. I also have a piece of parchment paper here from an old document, but it looks about right. I've trimmed it down, has printing on it. I'm going to set that in the middle of my tile. I'm then going to use my blue tack and build up a dam wall around the tile and stick it on. I'd love to be able to do this on the wax paper, but the blue tack will not stick to the wax paper because reasons. Okay, so I need a little bit more blue tack there. Luckily I have some just to hand. And whatever reason these fireworks are, they're having fun with them. So a little bit more blue tack. Don't worry about using lots of blue tack because the wax will not stick to it, and all we're doing is forming up the outside of the purity seal, so we've got a decent height seal. Okay, I think this is just about big enough for what I want it to be. So I've got the paper just hanging off the bottom of this. Once again, I get my candle and my spoon and heat the spoon, melt the wax into it. Now for this seal I'm going to need quite a bit of wax, so I'm going to make two separate paws, and I'm going to try it without the hot glue just to see whether it's strong enough. Hopefully it will be. Of course, if you're going to be under hot lights at a convention and wearing this for days and days, I would suggest doing this once, then making a mold and casting them out of resin, because these things are not very strong for cons. But resin is expensive, this is cheap, so you could always just replace them each day at the con, presuming you wore your Space Marine armour more than one day. So, melting the wax crowns, melting the wax crowns. Don't forget to push down towards the metal at the bottom of the spoon so that you're getting the best heat to the stick. Okay, I have it 1 spoonful, so I'm going to pour that into my blue tack dam. spread it out a little bit so I've got a fairly good coverage. Then I'm going to melt some more. Because I'm a Space Wolf player, I'm going to use this paw print in it. I'm just going to press that in and let it cool. Okay, there's a fair bit of wax in this and heat, but let's see what happens when I remove the thing. Got a really cool paw print in it, and as you can see, no wax sticks to the stamp. Now hopefully this is cool enough that I can remove the blue tack without deforming any of it, or more importantly burning myself. Right, last thing you're going to need is a box cutter, retractable Stanley knife. This one is old and rusty and I don't use it for anything else but this sort of thing. Carefully put it under the paper part and slide it down the tile, wiggling it backwards and forwards, being nice and gentle. Don't rush it. Whatever you do, don't rush it, because otherwise you'll do what I just did and break your seal. See, I've got part of it on here. You can see paw print came up really well, but the rest of the seal is still stuck to the tile. Hey, they don't always work, but that gives you a pretty good idea of how to go about it. So 3, 2, 1. Just a quick add-on to my video. I remelted the paw seal that didn't work, and now I have a sun, which does work. So this seal is ready to be stuck on some armour, or maybe a book or a certificate, or wherever I choose to use it, and it all works well. And don't forget, any of these things that you try and fail, just remelt them and go again. Don't throw them out. Okay, Mrs. Wolf, go out and make something.